In today's strength practice, we're going to focus on our arms and our back. Now, with any practice, make sure that you're always listening to your body. Make sure you're stacking joints, shoulders on top of wrists, and that your spine is always lengthening. Take your breaks when you need it. Remember, it's not cheating if you need to drop down to your knees. Press the pause button and come back and finish strong. Welcome back, everyone. All right, so we're just going to start on our knees. Find a comfortable position. You can put a block underneath your hips, or you can just sit on the floor cross-legged. We're going to start with the forearms first, my favorite. So we're going to start with elbows towards same height as the shoulders, I guess I want to say, and I want you to make a fist. And then I want you to take that fist towards your face. So take your wrists in towards your face, and then we're going to flick our wrists out and we're going to open our fingertips like we're throwing, I don't know what we're throwing today, but we're going to throw something. Let's say we're throwing seeds since it's springtime and it's nice and sunny today. So forward towards your face, the wrists are forward towards your face, and then open and throw the seeds. Keep going. Now, each time you're trying to find as much movement as you can out of the wrists and the fingers. Keep moving, and we're just trying to get those forearms to start working a little bit so that they're able to be warm and support the weight of our wrists and just really making everything a little bit stronger. So keep going, wrist forward and back. Fingertips are really opening and closing here, making a tight fist and then flinging that fist open. Throwing something forward. Keep going. Now you can slow down if you need to, but keep the movements big. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just gently release. Shake out the wrists, maybe give them a nice little roll. And then we'll do the same kind of thing, but slightly different. So we're going to work with jazz hands today. So again, the forearms are up. Make a fist, and then you're going to you're going to quickly open, and then bring back into a fist, and then open. So if you ever watched Bob Fosse, it's a famous choreography, he has these jazz hands, right? So open and close. As fast as you can go. Keep the fingers closing and opening as big as you can. Over-exaggerate the movement. My forearms are already burning. Keep breathing, keep calm, knowing that we're going to stop soon, you're going to have a break, but keep going. Now, as you do these videos, and this becomes easier, you can always add on time, right? So just pause the video and keep going until you feel that burning sensation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Roll those wrists out. Give them a nice little shake. We'll come back to the wrists in just a moment. We're going to start working on our scapula strength here. So with pushing forward and back, it's really important, especially in plank, to find that push away from the ground. So we're going to sit up nice and tall here. We're just going to pretend we're pushing something away. We're going to start up towards the ceiling. So place your hands flat like you're pushing the ceiling away here. Now take the shoulders and pull them down your back, but lengthen the spine and lift the chest. And then as you inhale, nothing moves except for the hands push out towards the ceiling. Now your shoulders are up by your ears. And then as you exhale, shoulders away from the ears. It's all in the shoulders. Inhale, push and sink. Push and sink. Push and sink. Push out. Push and sink. Good. Push. That's 5. Go into 10. 6, 7, 8. Keep lifting through the chest. Last one. 10. Good. Take those hands forward. Now you're pushing somebody away from you. It's the same concept. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, now push. And then retract. Squeeze the shoulder blades together in the back. Push. And retract. Push for 3. And retract. Sit up tall. Push. retract, push, retract. This is 6, push, push. Keep the breath moving. 8, 9, last one, 10. Great job. So shake out the arms, come back to that all fours position. So now we're going to do the same thing, actually pushing the ground away. So in plank pose, this is what we mean by doming through the shoulders, right? You're going to push the ground away and find that little chest lifting, and the part of the shoulder blades are going to dome up. Okay, so spread your fingers really wide here. Again, the arms stay straight. The elbows have nothing to do with it. It's pushing out of that shoulder blade. Here we go, going to 10. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, push and sink. Push and sink. Push, sink. Push for 4 and sink. Good. 5 and sink. 6 and down. 7 down. 8 down. 9 down. 10. Now hold here. Push. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Let's count to 10. 9. Keep pushing the ground away. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just soften down. Okay, so let's take care of those wrists. Take the fingertips and sweep them behind you. So the fingers are pointing towards the knees. If you don't have that flexibility, out to the 45 behind you is fine as well. So again, trying to keep the elbows straight. We're going to inhale, pull back, and exhale, come forward. Inhaling and forward. So wrist flexibility is really important. A lot of times us yogis dump a whole bunch of weight into our wrists in that down dog, which isn't really great for us. When in all those chaturungas, arm balances, it takes a lot of strength through the forearms and wrist flexibility. So this is a great way to start working into that. All right, last time. And then when you're ready, take the fingertips to the side, and we're just going to move side to side here. Right side, left side. Just make it comfortable. Try to find a little bit of extra stretch each time you move. Add a little bit extra weight. Last one. And then moving the fingertips forward. Either your middle fingers are pointing forward or your index fingers are pointing forward, depending on your shoulders and your elbows. 2 to the right. Inhale, moving forward to the right and back through the left. Good. And then we'll stop center and roll left and back. One more time. Good. So, stacking your knees on top of your hips. Let's just come down to our forearms here and take your thumbs so they're facing up towards the ceiling. Let's find just a little stretch through the shoulders and the lats. Right hand is going to come forward, and then I want you to try and get that armpit as close to the ground as you can. Push the armpit down. Lengthen through the side waist, through that lat, the armpits, the shoulder. One more breath here. And then come back to center. Same thing. Left hand moves forward. Thumb is up. Push down into the armpit here. Find length. Breathing in and breathing out. And then coming back to center. Okay, so we're going to do 2 rounds of chaturungas. Now you can do these on your knees. You can do full plank chaturungas. And if you're still working up to chaturungas, use those blocks so you don't go down so low. In fact, I like to practice my chaturungas with these because sometimes I find that I come down too low and I'm dropping through my chest. So when you use blocks for your chaturungas, place the blocks right in the middle of the fingers fingertips are just holding that. And again, as we move forward, our shoulders are shifting forward, and then you just lower down to the blocks. Now remember, the elbows are squeezing into the sideways. We don't want chicken wings here. Everything is underneath you, and then you're coming back up. So this is the kneeling version. Plank kneeling version is where your hips are forward, right? So you're moving forward with a long back. And then obviously the full range chaturanga here, pushing forward and down. So I recommend using blocks here, but if you don't have blocks, that's fine as well. Just make sure you don't go down too low and that you're also lifting up through the chest. So we're going to try 8 of these, and then we're going to go for a second round. So make sure you have enough gas left in the tank. If you start out with plank, drop to your knees. If you want to skip a few, work your way up. All right? Okay, here we go. So finding that position that works for you. As you inhale, push the shoulders forward, exhale down. Now inhale, you're going to push right back to plank. So that means you have to push those shoulders so they're in line with the wrists again. Good. Pushing forward and down. Lift and back. Forward and down. Lift and back. That's 3. Forward and down. Lift and back. 5. Forward and down. Lift and back. Forward and down. This is 7. You got 1 more. Forward and down. Lift. Good. Just push back, downward facing dog really quick. Find a little break. And then find that plank again. If you have those blocks, you can go ahead and move them out to the side. Stack your shoulders and your wrists. Frontal hip bone squeeze forward. And we're going to find ourselves isometrically moving our hands outward this way. So find your plank, and we're going to hold here for about 20 seconds. So pull the hands apart, split the mat down the middle. And I'm going to talk less so I can count. Hang in there. Halfway there. Last breath, pull up and back, find that downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Come down to your knees, and we'll grab our strap or a belt or anything else that you have handy. It could just be a blanket. So we're going to take that strap about shoulder width apart, and we're just going to inhale up and back. Now, you need to readjust if it's too tight. And then as you start getting a little bit loose through the chest, maybe you can move the hands a little bit closer together. But just find yourself syncing the movement with the breath, opening through the chest here. Enjoy your little break. Slow the breath. And when you're ready, we're going to go for our next set of 8. All right, let's get her done. Set those blocks back up. Maybe this time you're going to use your knees. All right, got my blocks already. I'm going to step back into plank. Remember, don't forget about pushing the ground away here. Dome through the shoulders, frontal hip bone, squeeze to the elbows, squeeze the butt cheeks. When you're ready, forward and down, lift for 1. Forward and down, lift for 2. Forward and down, lift for 3. Make sure you're squeezing the elbows in, forward and down. That's 4, you're halfway there. Forward and down. That's 5. Forward and down. 6. Forward and down. That's 7. Forward and down. And that is 8, my friends. Lift up and back, downward facing dog. Get rid of those blocks. And we'll find ourselves in plank one more time. So this time, instead of squeezing the mat apart, we're going to squeeze the fingers together. Holding here for another 20 seconds. Go. Squeeze the chest muscles together. Keep going. Halfway there. Last two. Last one. Lift the hips up and back. Well done. And we'll find ourselves back on our knees. So grab that strap again. This time we're going to floss the shoulders. So instead of going up and back, right? I'll set it at the front. So we're going to go diagonal this time. So one hand goes up and back and the other one pulls behind, and then you're going to switch. Now, ideally, you would like your hands even with the spine this way, right? So just move with the breath. Find a little bit of opening through the chest and the shoulders. Probably feels really good after those chaturungas. Now, as you get better with these videos, again, add extra sets. So we just did 2. If you pause and rewind, you can do another 2 more. Let's just take 2 more swizzles. Last 2. All right, and when you're ready, go ahead and release back down. Get rid of that strap, and we will find ourselves back in plank one more time. So this time, again, you can do full plank or kneeling plank. It's up to you. So fingers are spread wide, fingertips are gripping into the mat, push the ground away, step back or onto your knees. Hip bones, remember, are squeezing forward. So even if you're in kneeling plank, your hips are still pushing forward. Still squeeze the butt cheeks. Okay, hold here. We're just going to do a toe push forward for 8. So as you inhale, shift the shoulders forward over the wrists and back. 7, back. 6, back. 5, bang, back. 4, and back. 3, 2, keep the breath moving. 1, good. Lift the hips up and back. Find a breather in your down dog, and then come back into your plank. So starting to work a little bit into the back here. So I recommend everyone trying this from full plank. So we can lower our hips down, finding an up dog. Toes are still curled under though. Squeeze the shoulders back, chest push forward, and then right back into plank. You've got 8. Lowering down and lift. That was 7. 6. 5. Ooh. 4. Each time belly button pulls into spine. What did I say, 4? 3. 2. Last one. Go. Lift back up, downward facing dog. And then we're going to drop to our elbows for dolphin pose. Now for this one, you can lift one elbow at a time or both at the same time. But we're going to pulse from dog to this dolphin. Now let's make sure our dolphin pose is where it needs to be. The elbows are squeezing in. Don't let them fly out like chicken wings. And then I want you to push the chest and the hips back. So you want a diagonal line between your elbows to the top of the hip bones. That, my friends, is your dog or your dolphin pose. Okay, from here, like I said, one arm at a time is going to lift, and you're going to pulse up into your dog, or you're going to do both at the same time. So we're going to go to 8. So if you're doing one and then the other, you're going to get 4 rounds in. Otherwise, the rest of us are going to find 8. Take a deep breath in through the nose, deep breath out. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lift for 1 and down, 2 and down, 3 and down, 4, pushing your hands into the mat, down, 5, control it, down. 6, down. 7, down. 8, down. 9, down. 10, down. Good. Stay here. You can bend your knees on that dolphin if you need to. We're going to take the nose towards the thumbs for 8. So when you're ready, here we go. 8, and back. 7, and back. 6, back. 5, and back. 4, back. 3, back. 2, back. Keep breathing. Last one. Back. Really nice. Okay. Dropping down to our knees. Let's just give that a nice shake. Ooh. As I hit the windowsill. All right. Do you think we could try another round? I don't know. My arms are pretty tired already. If you want to sit this one out, it's all right. If you want to drop down to your knees, that's all right too. You got to find what works for you. We're going to try a second round. I don't know how pretty this is going to be. Okay, spreading the fingers. We're going to start with those toe pushes forward in plank. Push the ground away, step back. You have 8. When you're ready, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now we're moving up dog to plank. Take a deep breath in, ripple through plank. Deep breath out. Good. As you inhale, up dog. Exhale, push, plank. Good. Shoulders stack on wrist, down. Lift for 2. Good. Down. Lift for 3. Down. Belly button pulls into the spine each time. 4. Halfway there. Down. 5. This is hard. I'm shaking. Down. 6. Down. 7. Last one. And 8. Lift the hips up and back. Drop down to those forearms. Find that dolphin pose. Remember, the elbows are pulling in. Bend your knees if you need to. Find the diagonal between the shoulders all the way to the tip of the hips. Whew. Okay, one arm at a time or both. You've got 8 of the, well, that's 10 of these. All right, here we go. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift. And that's 1. Lift. 2. Lift. 3. Lift. 4. Lift. 5. Lift. 6. Lift. 7. Lift. 8. Lift. 9. Last one. And down. Good. Hold this down dog. You can just hold here. Sometimes this is enough. It takes a lot of strength. Otherwise, we're taking nose to thumbs. Lift the hips nice and high. Push the chest back each time when you're ready. 10. Back. 9. Back. 8. Back. 7. Back. 6. Back. 5. Back. 4. Back. 3. Keep going. 2. And last one. Well done. Dropping down to your knees. Whew. Just shake out the arms from side to side. Let's hold that stretch. All right. So taking the right hand across the left side of the body, grab the right shoulder with the left hand, and then find that sweet spot. Shoulders away from the ears, pulling the left hand down, maybe towards the tricep or towards the elbow. I'm breathing hard here. It's a hard practice today. Make sure you're sitting up tall. Find stretch. Come back to that slow, deep inhale. And slow, deep exhale. You're doing great so far. We just have one little bit left. And the good news is there's no planks involved. All right, slowly releasing the right hand or the right shoulder. Left comes across. Right hand grabs the left shoulder. Again, find that sweet spot. Shoulders away from the ears. Soften in, maybe close the eyes even. Sitting up tall. Remind yourself the left shoulder is away from the left ear, so keep pressing that left shoulder down. Squeeze everything into the chest. Find that opening. Soften down. All right, here we go. When you're ready, we're going to come back down to the mat on our bellies this time. A little bit left of the triceps and a little bit of the lower back. So let's work on those triceps first. We're coming into Sphinx pose. You're on the top of the thighs. Feet are squeezing together in the back. Elbows and shoulders are stacked. Hands are pushing into the mat. Find that tricep or find that Sphinx pose here. Now, for those of you who have taken my classes before, you know what's coming. We're going to slowly start isometrically pulling our hands back. So this motion here, and you're going to squeeze. Now, if it's too much for your back, you're going to take the elbows out a little bit more in front of you, but the elbows are still in line with the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, push the ground away, lift the chest, and as you exhale, pull. We're holding here for 30 seconds. So the only way this works is if I can count to myself because I don't have a clock. So keep breathing, soften through the butt, and just inhale and exhale. Keep squeezing. Almost there. Keep pulling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently release. Whew. Okay, we're down on our bellies for locust pose tonight. Begin by taking your hands behind the back and interclasping them. Now, our neck stays in line with the spine. No cranking of the neck. Keep looking at the floor. Shoulders are away from the ears. Squeeze the feet together. Now, if lifting the feet hurts and crunches the lower back, keep them on the floor. But the rest of us are going to lift our feet here. And then I want you to take a deep breath in, lift the chest. Maybe even lift the hands off the butt. Now, the feet are going to stay lifted. We're going to pulse 10 times the chest moves down. It's just the chest. Keep the feet lifted. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower. Lift for 1 and down. 2, down. 3, down. Neck in line with the spine. 4, down. Lift the hands a little higher. Down. 6, down. 7, lift the feet a little higher. 8, down. 9, down. And 10. Really nice. Release. Place the hands under the shoulders and take your knees right behind the wrists. Walk them forward, cross the ankles. We're going to come into a tabletop position here. So finishing out that triceps, and then we'll go around again. Fingers are towards the hips or maybe out to the 45, depending on your shoulder flexibility. Feet are hip width apart, and make sure that your feet are facing the top of your mat. They're not moving out to the diagonal. We're going to lift the hips just a little bit. I'm not worried so much about pressing them really high because I want to focus on the elbows. Now the elbows are going to bend, and make sure that they're squeezing together in the back and they're not flying out to the side. We're going to go for 10. So lift, straighten the arms. Here we go. 10. Squeeze the elbows in together. 9. 8. Each time you're lifting and pushing the ground away. 7. 6. Like I said, I'm not too worried about the hips. Good. 4. 3. 2. Last one. and down. Really nice, yogis. All right, back down to our tummies. We'll find ourselves this last round here. Sphinx tricep pull. So find that Sphinx pose, top of the thighs, feet are squeezing together, push the ground away, adjust the elbows and the hands so your lower back is not crunching. Push the ground away, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, pull back, pull back. So we won't hold for the full 30 seconds, I'll just count 20, 19, 18, keep pulling, 17, 16, smile, 15, 14, keep pulling, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, you're on the home stretch, 8, 7, pull, 6, 5, 4, soften through the glutes, 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, chest down, hands connect in the back. Pull the hands towards the feet, shoulders away from the ears, feet together, and lift if you can. When you're ready, we'll find 10 pulses. Inhale, lift through the chest, lift the hands off the lower back, release, lift, release. 8, and down. 7, and down. 6, down. 5, down. Lift the feet a little higher. 4, 3, 2, last one, and release. Ooh. Okay, tabletops. Here we go. Feet pull forward. Feet are in line with the hips. Fingers are pointing towards the hips. Remember, we're squeezing the elbows in, shoulders squeeze back. So we're not moving out to the side. Squeeze everything behind you. Inhale, lift the hips, adjust the feet and the shoulders if you need to. Shoulders on top of wrists. Let's stack our joints. When you're ready, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nicely done, yogis. Have a seat, however is comfortable. And we're going to find ourselves stretching out those triceps. So right hand comes up, bend the elbow, and you can either take the left hand and find that tricep stretch, or you can find cow face arms by taking the left hand and trying to connect the two of them together, like voila. So sometimes I can do it, sometimes not so much. Wherever you are, sit tall, chest lifts, and then just maybe close the eyes, soften everything down. If you have a strap handy, again, a strap is handy here. Put it in the right hand, let it droop down to the left, and pull the strap down with the left hand. We're going to take one more breath on this side. And then gently releasing. Shake it all out. Left hand lifts, again, behind the back or reach, whichever one works for you. I'm going to take this option now. Again, sitting up tall, make sure you're not rolling forward here. Sitting up tall, chest lifts, and then sinking everything down. Deep breath in, deep breath out. That was a lot of hard work. Take this time to say thank you to yourself and maybe congratulate yourself that you stuck with it. And we'll gently release. Okay, this next stretch I like to do with the strap. And I always have my strap prepared at one end. So you make a loop about the same width as your shoulders. If you're flexible in the shoulders, you can make the loop a little tighter. What you do is you take that strap through both loops and then over the top loop and through to find that loop. Now, if you don't have a loop, that's no big thing. So we're going to come back to this, pretend like we're doing a tabletop. Remember, fingers are pointing forward. If you don't have a strap, you're going to slowly walk your hands out behind you and bend into the elbows and just kind of sink into the shoulders. Now, again, you want things pulling together. So the shoulder blades pull together, the elbows pull together. That's why a strap is so handy, because it does it for you. So if you're already in that stretch, stay there. I'm ready to join you with my strap. And we'll just kind of sink down and in. I'll be gentle with the shoulders. If there's any shoulder pain or any kind of issues where it's uncomfortable, come out of the pose. For heaven's sakes, it's just yoga. But this is a nice stretch. If you're looking for a little more here, maybe you're thinking about lifting the chest and the belly as well. Maybe finding a little extra something there you didn't know you needed. Let's take 2 more breaths. Now, just in this pose, I'm already noticing that my right shoulder is, for some reason, way tighter than my left shoulder. So I'm going to come back after the video and I'm going to really work into that right shoulder a little bit longer, as I recommend you work into your kinks a little bit longer than the video allows. All right, slowly coming out of that pose, just lift through the chest and sit forward, right? And then letting go of that strap. All right, since we're here, let's find our bridge pose, just working into our flexibility of our back. We've got one more stretch forward and then we're done for the day. So it's almost there, yogis. Lying onto your back, let's take a nice bridge. If you want to open up into wheel pose, of course, that option is available to you as well. But I'm feeling a little tired today, so I'm going to be the underachiever. Okay, hips, knees, feet, shoulder width apart. They're on 2 lines, and you're slowly going to start lifting up through the hips. Now, hands can bind under the back, or you can place a block underneath your hips if you're just done for the day. Otherwise, I'm going to walk onto the tops of my shoulders and lift my hips really high. Now again, if you want to come into wheel from here, releasing the hands go back, elbows up. Maybe you're coming to your forehead to just release and finding your bridge. Those of you who want to be the little underachiever, but maybe want to find a little bit more, maybe the hands can come underneath the lower back. Finding a little bit of support here. Maybe you can even find yourself in a balance. Just depending on what your back is doing today. Like I said, this is just a little bit of flexibility for the back, not necessarily strength. Wherever you are, making sure that you have a little bit of activation going through the inner thighs so that your knees aren't splaying out. One more breath wherever you are. And then as we come out, we're coming out slowly. So we're tucking our chin to our chest, and each vertebra comes down, starting with the top, and then click, 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 all the way down until your hips are down on the ground. Good, just windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And like I promised, we have one more shoulder stretch and we're done. So when you're ready, coming up to cross-legged seat, cross the hands, come forward. And we'll find ourselves again on our hands and knees. Now you can take this next stretch however deep you want to go. It's a puppy dog pose. So traditionally we don't do that pose with blocks. We just start walking our hands out. Our knees and our hips are still stacked, and we're trying to get our chest, our armpits down to the mat. Now maybe you could take your forehead, maybe you're on a cheek or your chin. Okay, but keep the hips nice and high and lifted. The second option for this pose is probably one of my favorites. And you can do these with blocks. You can do this standing next to a table or a countertop. But you're going to take your triceps, the bottom of your arms, onto the blocks. Gently kind of walk yourself there. Again, your hips and your knees are stacked. And you're going to take your head through the keyhole you just made. And you're going to sink down into those shoulders. Now, if you can find it, then take your hands to the base of your neck. Oh, it just feels so good. Triceps, shoulders, lats, it's all there. Just sink down and breathe. Let's hold for just maybe a couple more breaths. You can come out at any time. But what we strengthen in these practices, we also have to stretch out. right? It all goes back to that sthira and the sukha, the ease and the effort, the strength and the flexibility, right? The hard and the soft. You can have all the strength in the world, but if you're not flexible, if you can't stretch, you can't bend down to pick up your toes or bend down to touch your toes, what's the use in having all that strength to pick up boxes with? All right. Slowly coming out. If you're on those blocks, gingerly lifting the head first, and then just kind of walking yourself out without nose planting off of the blocks. So just find a comfortable seat wherever you are and congratulate yourself for making it through this great practice. Thanks for joining me on the mat. Namaste.